Thank you, Mr. Lee. It is now my pleasure to invite Stephen Zoloth, Acting Provost, to introduce our commencement speakers.
Good evening. This evening it's my great honor to be joined by two people who have been pillars of the Boston business community for the past 3 decades, Ellen and Peter Zane. Over the course of their each independent careers, they have always extended an extraordinary entrepreneurial spirit and a zeal for new challenges. Ellen Zane has held executive positions at top area hospitals since 1985 and is currently President and Chief Executive Officer of Tufts Medical Center, formerly Tufts New England Medical Center. Peter Zane is the former president of the global bike lock company that you know as Kryptonite Corporation, which revolutionized the bike industry with his invention of the K4 Kryptonite bike lock. Each of them sit on boards of directors of numerous companies in the New England area. In addition to their impressive business accomplishments, they are enthusiastic benefactors of numerous charities in Massachusetts and beyond. They donate their time, their ideas, and their finances to causes ranging from improved care for the elderly to creating better opportunities for women and to finding a cure for arthritis. Ellen has been a trustee here at Northeastern University since 1994. Both Ellen and Peter are specifically drawn to Northeastern's unique model of education, and they've supported presidential scholars from Bouvet College of Health Sciences. Their lives are a wonderful reminder of the importance of balancing career success with giving back to your community. Their passion for what they do and the possibilities that they see in others inspire us all. It is indeed a distinct honor to have them join us at Northeastern University and to introduce Ellen and Peter Zane as your commencement speakers. Please join me in welcoming them.
I am most humbled to address you this evening and would like to start by expressing my admiration and congratulations to you all for your wonderful accomplishment, your graduation. You are among the fortunate and wise to have selected Northeastern for your academic experience. I cannot imagine a more real-world educational environment. In this local world-class community, academic community, a sea awash in educational ivory towers, I submit Northeastern is a down-to-earth beacon that is far more reflective of the real world. Northeastern, the multicultural demographic diversity of your student body, your urban location, your physical plant, your vast curriculum, your distinguished faculty and deans, your leader, Joseph Aoun, your trustees, your much-heralded co-op program, these all reflect a grounded and common-sense approach to education that better prepares you for life in this increasingly complex global environment. Ellen and I have often remarked how thrilled we are to be associated with Northeastern University. While I did not attend school here, I do have some early connection with this great place. My dad attended law school here in the late 1930s when Judge Felix Forte was an instructor here. In thinking about how I might make my remarks relevant for you today, I thought I would chronicle my career in the hope that some of it would resonate with you, that some of the values and value of my experiences would be takeaways for you today. But first, a little personal background. My formative years. I grew up in Brookline, a few miles from here, in a very nice neighborhood, but our family's financial footing was much more precarious than that of my friends. So I recall always feeling financially insecure when I was growing up. This, I believe, had a profound effect on my motivation to succeed, my work ethic, and my desire for financial security. I believe that the most important event in my youth was meeting Ellen in 1968. Soon she will speak to you and you will understand why meeting her was so important to me. but I will tell you that choosing the right supportive partner was the most valuable decision in my life. I went to Franklin and Marshall College and received a BA in philosophy. A liberal arts education really helped me to better understand my place in the cosmos, a popular concern for many of us in the late 60s. Liberal arts proved to be a useful and a formative tool for my personal development. What was probably the most outstanding event in my college experience was the 6 months I spent in Denmark and Europe, where I was exposed to people of the world outside of the United States. While it was a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, as change often is, it broadened my life perspective in a most impactful way by exposing me to different cultures, values, and ideas. After F&M, I was unclear as to my career direction. It was 1973. I was getting a master's in sociology, and I learned that my older brother, Mike, who was doing some work for my dad in Boston, met a hippie in Cambridge who had developed an unbreakable bike lock he named the Kryptonite lock, and was looking for someone to manufacture it. My dad owned a lighting fixture manufacturing business on 20 East Concord Street, not more than a quarter of a mile from here. And he often said while I was growing up that he always wished he had a product, something unique and different, that he could manufacture. Here was an opportunity, and for $1,500, the hippie sold the rights and design to my family. Frankly, at the time, it was not worth much more than that, but that would change. My family seized the opportunity, a very fortuitous decision. I returned to Boston in 1973 to help out with this new family venture. We were as bootstraps as you could get. There were a total of 8 of us in those early days, and I recall my brothers and my dad and my mom and I didn't take salaries many a time when cash was tight, which was often. We plowed every available nickel back into the business. Cambridge was the bike theft capital of the U.S., so we developed a knowledge base and foothold in that market. Our competition at the time was an MIT-backed company called Citadel. We were without a business plan, market experience, market savvy, and money, and they were all business, supported by venture capital. We were the underdog, but had grit and determination. They were arrogant and cocky. Our desire to succeed was so strong, we ultimately blew past them during the late 70s New York transit strike and gas shortage, when we geared up to deliver to the market, and they didn't. You got to love those transit strikes and gas shortages. I guess somebody has to benefit from them. Seize the moment, grab the opportunity. In 1974, I attended law school at night and worked full-time in the business during the day. While it was never my aim to practice law, my education came in quite handy when we resolved a trademark dispute with DC Comics, owned by the behemoth Warner Communications. That agreement cemented our ability to use the name Kryptonite around the world. We ultimately attained more than 50 trademarks worldwide for the brand. 1978 was a watershed year for me. I was in my last year of law school. My trust in estates course so bored me that I took to doodling in class and actually drew a lock design that would soon be patented and become award-winning. One never knows when that eureka moment will hit. The doodle became the state-of-the-art lock design for the next 20 years and catapulted our brand and company. That said, I am not recommending that any of you enroll in a trust and estates course. You'll find it very boring. In time, our locks would be selected for induction into the permanent design collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York, and also we won the coveted Good Design Award from Japan. That year, Ellen and I went to Germany to introduce our new locks to the international market. Wow, what an eye-opener. There was a long-felt need there that we were able to address. Soon, however, a protectionist environment made business very difficult in Europe, but that made us improve and made us a better company. I am proud to say that we exported our locks to 50 different nations. The real personal benefit for me and Ellen and many of our employees is that we traveled the world promoting our brand and made wonderful acquaintances as a result. I recall visiting China in the late 80s and being shocked to see kryptonite lookalikes being used everywhere. By the mid-90s, the knockoffs were coming fast and furious. I recall that we once intentionally displayed a lock bracket upside down on a bicycle at a trade show, and not surprisingly, soon after, some Chinese company was advertising their new upside-down lock bracket. Eventually, the price pressures applied by retailers in the U.S. and Europe motivated us to develop manufacturing capabilities in Asia. We were soon located in both Canton, Mass. And Canton, China. Our business matured and the competition increased, and we decided that it was time to move on. We sold our business to a Fortune 500 company which was intrigued by our brand and our products in 2001. I suppose our real accomplishment was transforming a name, a mere word, into an international brand in the sporting goods industry, and breathing true value into an object as mundane as a low-tech bicycle lock. We never stopped innovating our products, had a push-the-envelope sense of creativity, as evidenced by the cult-like following for our advertising and posters, all developed in-house. We never used advertising agencies, yet we won many advertising awards, including Emmys and Clios. We had a steadfast commitment to quality and security and a never-ending sense of urgency. That was our company's culture. There was never a day that I went to work and was not concerned about how we would deal with the competition or how we would grow the business. I would like to take this opportunity to thank a few people who helped me in my career. First, I would like to pay tribute to our many extraordinary employees, some of whom were NEU co-op students. Our people were primarily local from Southie and Dorchester and the surrounding area. Without these dedicated and creative people, I would not be here to tell this story. I would like to thank my brother Mike, who really broke the mold and also introduced me to my wife. My 88-year-old mother, whose ever-presence at the office with her dog Lika would always assure that we would never become too corporate. My departed father, whose perseverance, tenacity, and engineering skills were remarkable. And most importantly, my wife Ellen. From moment one, no one could have been a better cheerleader and counsel. I love you and thank you. So I say to you at this pivotal day of your life, what can I say? So I say to you on this pivotal day in your life, believe in yourself, demonstrate initiative, do not shy away from taking risks, but be thoughtful about them. Always be urgent, innovative, respectful of all those people you meet and deal with. Never ever be arrogant, and never take anything for granted. The American dream is alive and well, and I am living proof. Always remember, while markets, technologies, and times change, the core values important to success are timeless. Congratulations, and best of luck to you all.
Good evening. What you see is what you get with Peter. He's as genuine as he seems, and it's just been an amazing opportunity to see Kryptonite grow from being a twinkle in people's eye to a brand that's known all over the world and coveted all over the world. And they started it from scratch, from whole cloth, and took it the whole way. I'm very proud. Good evening, and fellow trustees, President Ayoun, distinguished faculty, graduates, family, and friends. I am so delighted to be here this evening to honor you, Northeastern University graduates, this wonderful university, and I am so proud to have been a trustee here and to continue to be involved in this great, great university. And I can tell you in my current role as president and CEO at Tufts Medical Center, I hire many co-op students primarily from the Bouvet School, and I am unbelievably proud to have these wonderful graduates walk the halls of our wonderful organization each and every day. To give you a sense of my career path, but more importantly than my own history, I want to end my little speech this evening and talk to you about some pearls of management that have helped me along the way. And it will be important to remember that these pearls have nothing to do with my IQ. They are not intellectually complex, but they are far more associated with my emotional quotient and my social quotient than they were with my intelligence quotient. And they have everything to do with the School of Hard Knocks, rather than a PhD or a master's degree in business or in public health. I'm originally from Waltham, and I like to think of myself when I stand up here right now. My maiden name, by the way, was Weinstein, and I just think of myself as Ellen Weinstein from Waltham. What am I doing here? It's really amazing, and it's important to understand that whether it's Peter starting a bootstraps business or it's me coming from Waltham High School, the fact is, through hard work and grit, the opportunity to accomplish is really remarkable, and each of you, given the work that you've done for today, have that opportunity as well. I went to undergraduate school at the George Washington University. I went to graduate school at the Catholic University of America, all in D.C., and I have a master's degree in audiology and speech-language pathology, and I know there are a few graduates tonight that are graduating with a PhD in audiology, and I'm very proud of you. But again, my experience isn't because I have an MBA or an MPH. It's because I traveled through the School of Hard Knocks. My first management job was at a small community hospital in Taunton, Massachusetts, where I was running an audiology and speech pathology clinic, but had the good fortune to work for someone who saw something in me I didn't see myself, and who gave me progressive promotions. So by the time I left that hospital, I was a vice president running a number of the clinical services. And then I went on in 1987 to Quincy Hospital in Quincy, Massachusetts, as the chief operating officer and then ultimately as the chief executive officer. What was very interesting about Quincy Hospital was that it was a public hospital owned by the city of Quincy, but privately managed. So I worked for a hospital management company, Hospital Corporation of America, a for-profit company out of Nashville. And as a result, we were viewed as the hired guns out of Nashville, there to run this public hospital. When I became the CEO of the hospital, it had 8 days cash on hand. So that will bring me to my first pearl later on, and that is the value of taking risk. And I'm going to talk more about that. 8 days cash on hand. We were incredibly worried about how we were going to meet payroll, never mind paying for the drugs and pharmaceuticals and medical devices that we needed for our patients. The hospital was under construction at the time I became the CEO. We had physicians, a medical staff that was completely split between 3 other community hospitals within 8 miles, and the big Boston medical mecca was only 20 minutes away. Within the hospital, there were 9 collective bargaining units and civil service employees, and a management moment of my career was when I left Quincy Hospital and one of the union stewards said to me, "Ellen, how many days cash on hand do we have now?" Because that told me that through being inclusive and transparent with all of the employees, having them know what our board of trustees knew, and having all of them involved in stabilizing and turning the organization around had everything to do with the fact that we were all on the same team moving in the same direction. In 1994, I got a call out of the blue from a wonderful man by the name of H. Richard Nesson. Dr. Nesson at the time was the CEO of the Brigham and Women's Hospital, and he was the founding CEO of Partners Healthcare System. And all of you that are from Greater Boston know that Partners Healthcare owns the Massachusetts General Hospital and the Brigham and Women's Hospital. And in 1994, these crown jewel academic Harvard teaching hospitals came together to form Partners Healthcare. And when Dr. Nesson called me, he said to me, "I want you to come, and I want you to develop from whole cloth a vast community network of physicians, all of whom will work with and be loyal to Partners Healthcare or the Mass General and the Brigham." It was an unbelievable journey. I was incredibly fortunate to have Dr. Nesson notice the work that we were doing in Quincy and call me up and give me this great, great, great opportunity. Today, the network I was responsible for building with many wonderful people has 5,600 physicians in it. It is one of the largest physician networks in America, and it does about $1 billion worth of managed care revenue a year. And it is now my competition. So it goes. In 2003, I got a call from Larry Bacow, and Dr. Bacow is the president of Tufts University. And Dr. Bacow said to me that he was very interested in chatting with me about becoming the CEO of Tufts Medical Center. It was at the time Tufts New England Medical Center, located in Boston's Chinatown. Tufts Medical Center was the product of a failed merger. It had merged with the Lifespan System out of Providence, Rhode Island, and had a very difficult time, was extremely troubled. And what Dr. Bacow said to me is, Ellen, this is important. This is why you have to take this job, because it's important. Tufts Medical Center is the third oldest hospital in America. It was founded in 1796 by Paul Revere. It is the principal teaching hospital for Tufts University School of Medicine. It has 5,000 employees and is the major economic driver in Boston's Chinatown. Chinatown is the most densely populated neighborhood in the city of Boston. So while my husband had just sold kryptonite and we were thinking of smelling the roses, Dr. Bacow was asking me not to slow down the treadmill but to speed it up. And because I have the most wonderful and supportive husband on earth, Peter said to me, Ellen, I think you have one more left in you. And I'm doing this not because I have kids to put through college. I'm doing this because it's important. And as I say to folks all the time, I'm doing it for Paul Revere, because it is. So that takes me to my pearls that have helped me, whether it's through 8 days cash on hand at Quincy or through a turnaround at Tufts Medical Center, a place I am most proud of. By the way, the medical center just passed its examination that it had, where we had the Joint Commission on the Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations that unannounced comes to every hospital every few years to survey. And following the completion of that survey just the other day, I believe that Tufts Medical Center received the highest score of all major medical centers in the city of Boston. I'm very proud. So the first pearl to remember is the importance of taking risks. Risk is good. It's very important to remember that if you keep your foot on first, you will never get to second. You have to take a leap. You have to understand that sometimes that leap is somewhat blind. Do all your due diligence, look under every rock. But at the end of the day, if you are fearful of risk, you will be good, but you will never be great. It's incredibly important. When Peter and his family took that risk at Kryptonite and plowed every nickel back into the business during those early days, they had no idea that Kryptonite would become an international brand. What he didn't tell you is when he sold the company in 2001, Kryptonite had a 72% market share of bicycle locks in America. He was on top, and it all started because they took the risk and had a vision. And as he said, they didn't have a business plan, but they certainly had a vision. So recognize that risk in your career is good. Second pearl absolutely has to do with the importance of having fire in your belly. If you don't have passion, if you don't have a sense of urgency, you will be mediocre. It's incredibly important to wake up every day, as Peter taught me when he owned Kryptonite. He said to me, Ellen, I wake up every day scared. I know that there's a competitor somewhere in China that's waiting for me to trip and fall. And if I don't innovate, then I will fail. There has to be a sense of passion, a sense of urgency. I call it fire in the belly. Next, you got to remember the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line. As you wheel and deal in the working world, there will always be unexpected barriers. There will always be people who get in your way. There will always be unanticipated concerns that you have. But folks, it's part of the dance. And it's the recognition that navigating through shades of gray without absolutely knowing where you're going and without knowing that just because you want to get there doesn't mean that you will, is part of the challenge between the good and the great. The next one, next pearl. Always work to surround yourself with excellence. One of my mentors told me that if you're a 9, you'll hire a 10, but it's 7s who hire 6s. 9s hire 10s, 7s hire 6s. It's important that you hire people that are smarter than you, better than you, and that you never be intimidated by the recognition that they are so good. And it's okay if they make more money than you do. Because the fact is, at the end of the day, if they do well, so do you. So always surround yourself with excellence. Remember, if you want to be great, next pearl, big jobs only come in one size. And it is incredibly difficult to accomplish what Peter did, or what I'm trying to do part-time. You either wake up with it in your belly every morning or you don't. So depending what you want, remember, big jobs come in one size. For many people, it's important to understand in the next pearl that it is about your influence in this world, not your power. I know I am immediately talking to a mediocre manager when that manager comes to me and says, Ellen, I can't produce something because so-and-so doesn't report to me. I know immediately that person's mediocre. It isn't because you have the power. It's because you have the credibility and the influence that makes the difference. So it's about your own credibility, your own skill set, and your own influence, not your power. Next pearl. No matter what we all think, no matter how professional we are, no matter how many degrees we have, never forget we are all in sales. Every time we open our mouth, we must sell. We must help people to understand why and how we want to move the ball downfield, and the only way we can do it is by selling. So never, ever, ever undermine those folks who are trained in sales, because after all, folks, we are all in sales. Next pearl. Many people have said, and I bet some of you believe, that you don't want to work in an organization that's political. If you feel that way, my advice to you is to go and live under a rock. Because the truth is, there are politics in every organization, and my advice is to get a life so that you can learn to navigate and understand how to never take your eye off the ball, never to lose the direction you want to go in, and recognize that the politics of any organization are part of the deal, as I said earlier, part of the dance. Second to last pearl, folks, never, ever, 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 ever compromise the high road. We have looked and we have seen in Qualcomm and in Enron and in Adelphi what these people have done to great companies and to their own careers. It just isn't worth it. Each and every person who works with you and for you needs to know that you are squeaky clean and that whatever you do is going to be the high road. And if you take the high road, everyone may not love every decision you make, but they will respect it. And last, for all of us, go out there and just kill them with competence. There's no substitute. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Zane and Mr. Zane, for your thoughtful and inspiring remarks. The degrees will now be conferred. Again, I call upon Stephen Zoloth, Acting Provost.
May I have the candidates for all associate or bachelor degrees in the colleges of engineering, business administration, arts and sciences, Bouvet College of Health Sciences, College of Criminal Justice, College of Computer and Information Science, College of Professional Studies, the School of Engineering Technology, and the Lowell Institute School, will you all please rise? Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science with specification, or associate degree according to the department in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University, I do hereby confer upon you and all those who have properly qualified the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science with specification, Associate in Engineering, Associate in Science, according to the department in which you have qualified, with all the associated honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Graduates, I salute you.
Will the graduates please be seated?
Now I would like to ask all candidates for the degrees, all master's degrees, as well as candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Audiology, and Certificate Advanced Study, will you all please rise? Now I'm pleased to introduce James R. Steller, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Public Administration, or Master of Arts in Teaching in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences.
Now I'd like to introduce Kate Klepper, Associate Dean and Director of the Graduate Programs of the Graduate School of Business Administration.
Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Finance, or Master of Science in Finance MBA in the Graduate School of Business Administration.
Agnes H. Chan, Associate Dean and Director of the Graduate School of Computer and Information Science.
Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting all those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Master of Science in Computer Science in the Graduate School of College of Computer and Information Science.
Yaman Yenner, Associate Dean and Director of the Graduate School of Engineering.
Mr. President, it's my honor to present to you all those who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Master of Science with specification in the Graduate School of Engineering.
Suzanne B. Greenberg, Associate Dean and Director of the Graduate School of Bouvet College of Health Sciences.
Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Audiology, Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, Master of Science, or Master of Science with specification in the Graduate School of the Bouvet College of Health Sciences.
Anarita Meeker, Director of the Graduate Tax and Accounting Programs of the Graduate School of Professional Accounting.
Mr. President, I have the privilege and the honor of presenting those candidates that have qualified in all respect for the degrees of Master of Science in Accounting MBA, Master of Science in Accounting, and Master of Science in Taxation. Congratulations.
Paul M. Zabraki, Dean of the School of Technological Entrepreneurship.
Mr. President, it's my privilege to present to you those candidates who qualify in all respects for the degree of Master of Science in Technological Entrepreneurship.
Patrick F. Plunkett, Senior Associate Dean of the College of Professional Studies.
Mr. President, it is my distinct privilege and pleasure to present those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees of Master of Science, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Professional Studies, and Master of Sports Leadership.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I do hereby confer upon you and all those who have properly qualified the degrees of Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Audiology, Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Science with Specification, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Public Administration, Master of Professional Studies, Master of Sports Leadership, and Master of Arts in Teaching, according to the curriculum in which you have qualified with all the associated honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Graduates, I salute you.
Will the graduates please be seated?
Now I would like to ask the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Juris Doctor to please rise. Mr. President, I am honored to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Juris Doctor.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I do hereby confer upon you and all those who have properly qualified the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Juris Doctor, with all the associated honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Graduates and dear colleagues, I salute you.
Will the graduates please be seated?
Now the marshals will present the Doctor of Philosophy candidates to the platform for hooding. From the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, the Doctor of Philosophy degree in the field of chemistry, Shu-Wei Chen. Dong Ma. In the field of economics, Sanam Ilgen Surjizi. In the field of English, Corey Lowell Gruel. In the field of law, policy, and society, Rose Nanem Ibui. Catherine Ann Gilday. Mary Ellen Mastrovilli. John Francis McDevitt. In the field of physics, Hassan Ukris. Jen Wu. In the field of psychology, Glenn Anthony Coppersmith. Tricia Minerva Esdale. In the field of sociology and anthropology, Janice Lynette Free. From the Graduate School of Engineering, the Doctor of Philosophy degree in the field of chemical engineering, Trevor Lauren Goodrich. In the field of civil engineering, Marlon Luis Bazar. Xin Wang. In the field of electrical engineering, Juan Carlos Acero. Xu Zhao Dong. Dimitar Gorogiv Valchev. In the field of mechanical engineering, Suresh Kumar Pillai. From the Graduate School of Bouvet College of Health Sciences, the Doctor of Philosophy degree in the field of counseling psychology, Ruth Marsach Wood. From the Graduate School of Computer and Information Science, the Doctor of Philosophy degree, Sergei Kojersky.
Will the graduates please be seated? The marshals will now present the graduates to the platform in order that they may receive their diplomas. Will all graduates please rise? Candidates receiving their first degree tonight will now shift their tassels to the left side of the cap. Now that you are all Northeastern University alumni, please join in singing the Alma Mater. The words and music are on the back page of the program. We invite all Northeastern alumni in the audience to stand and sing the Alma Mater with us. Will the graduates please be seated?
Five more minutes. Otherwise, it will be 10, and it will go to 15, and it will keep going up. You heard two magnificent speakers, absolutely magnificent. They didn't come to you with recipes. They came to you with pearls. They didn't tell you what you should do. They talked about themselves, and they talked about what they do. As a matter of fact, you can think about those pearls as forming a necklace. And this necklace can get longer and longer with your experience, and you're going to form your own necklace. So you may want to share with your friends and family and colleagues the same pearls that either you heard or that you are uncovering yourselves. You know, this is a great day. You're going to start a career, you're going to continue your education, you're going to choose to do many things that some of you know what they are, and some of you obviously are still wondering what the next steps are going to be. I have to tell you something that's going to be a little bit shocking to you and to your friends and families. The knowledge you are acquiring is going to be obsolete very soon. As a matter of fact, you know, you may want to make the claim that the day you leave a university, any university, the knowledge you have acquired is obsolete. So you're leaving with an obsolete knowledge. So what's the value of your diploma? What's the value of your education? The value of your education is to negotiate and to face the unknown. That's exactly what we're hoping to have done with you, that we shape your ability together to face the unknown and to face a changing environment, and in addition to shape it. It's easier said than done. Not long ago, people used to transmit the same knowledge generation after generation. It's no longer the case. The world is moving fast, and it's scary. It's scary because, you think that you're on top of the world and suddenly things change. What you heard today from the two speakers is that your inner leadership is going to allow you, and your education is going to allow you to face the unknown, to shape it. And that leads me to something that I want to share with you, the notion of happiness. You say, why on earth is he talking about happiness? Some of you are coming from different countries, and some of you have traveled to many other countries. What is very striking about our society here, which is your society, no matter where you come from, is that there is always a balance between whatever society is doing and your individual happiness. Some of the economists nowadays are tackling this notion of happiness and saying happiness is all relative. Namely, if you have a lot, but your neighbor has even more, then, you are less happy than the neighbor. That's something. I have a friend here, a colleague, Professor, is the holder of the Finnegan Chair. He can talk to you about it more than I do. But I believe that this notion of happiness doesn't capture all the power of this concept, and doesn't capture the fact that this society allows individuals to chart their own course. I was very struck and very surprised, traveling all over the world, that essentially they have a notion, many countries have a notion of academic profiling. So the students with the highest scores go to do engineering, then medicine, then business, then the liberal arts. I think this notion of academic profiling is really very, very limiting. What we are doing here in our environment is to tell you, pursue your passion, pursue your interest, and shape the world through your passion and through your interest and through your leadership. This is precious. Frankly, very few countries have it. We don't profile you academically. You choose what you want to do, and you are going to shape your path. The two speakers also didn't mention a dimension that they live on a daily basis. They give back. I'm amazed they are involved with many philanthropies and many causes. And as you know, Ellen Zane is a trustee here. So they always find a time and a way to give back. After 16 hours of work per day, this is not easy. This is something also very special. And this is something, the notion of philanthropy that we see here in this country is really a model for the rest of the world. And in fact, many other institutions all over the world are trying to understand it and frankly to adopt it. So the notion of happiness, the notion of philanthropy, the notion of giving back are what will characterize you, will characterize each one of us. Now, it's not going to be easy starting a new career or starting a new work or starting a new diploma. But no matter what happens, I want you to look to your faculty here, to the staff. I want you to look to your friends who are graduating with you. I want you to close your eyes for 2 seconds, not more. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Do me this favor, including you. And I want you to capture this moment. It will always be with you. You can open your eyes, and when you come back, you will always have a home here. It will be your home, You own Northeastern. It is your home, and we are family. Graduates, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Will the graduates remain seated and wait for their marshals to lead them in the recession? The audience is requested to remain seated as well until the platform and student processions have left the hall. All of you are cordially invited to attend a reception for graduates and their guests at the John and Marcia Curry Student Center, the indoor quad, immediately following these exercises. For those of you who are not familiar with the campus, please refer to the map located at the end of the program.